Hi, everybody. Elaine here, the Animal Reiki Lady. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. It's time for another reading. This one is for Belle. Oh my gosh. I received a picture of Belle through email with a request for this reading. And as soon as I saw the picture, she started coming through so loud and clear. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful dog. So I can't wait to share more. And Winston even has come in for this one. Um, a similar circumstance, not exactly the same, but a similar circumstance. And Winston, I feel right with me. And honestly, when I like get the most intense readings, I get chills from head to toe, like as in cold kind of chills from head to toe, and it's still going. It's going so strong. So we'll see what Belle has to say. I did immediately start to write down some notes, so I've got those here that I'm going to show you. I immediately started to get a sense of all kinds of things from Belle. But first, let's back up just a step. For those of you catching our video for the very, very first time, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master. And I'll try to keep this short and sweet for those of you who watch these all the time. I help people make deep spiritual healing connections with the animals in their life, and that is animals here on this planet and animals who have crossed the Rainbow Bridge or crossed to the other side, even though neither of those things accurately describes where they are, which is right here still with us, just in a whole different form. But anyway, so I am an animal Reiki master and practitioner. I practice the system of Reiki to help animals who are on the planet heal. And it has led to connecting with animals on the other side. And when I say that I help create healing connections, the healing from the other side is for you. They send so many beautiful, beautiful, healing, peaceful messages to help us get past some of the emotions that we experience when they cross to the other side, because our little fur babies don't spend nearly enough time with as much time with us as we want here on this planet, but that's okay. We can still connect with them. All right, let's talk about Belle. Belle, oh my gosh, the picture I received of Belle. In fact, I'm going to use her picture. I'm going to see if I can make it work. I'm going to use her picture for the thumbnail for this video so her papa knows um, that this is just for his Belle. And Belle is a rescue. That's why I'm bringing Winston into this too. So I'm going to try to keep my thoughts from being too scattered. But Winston is here as well because Winston was also a rescue. Belle was a senior rescue, as my Winston was. Belle spent about a year and a half with her papa, and Winston spent over 2 years with me. Belle is, they believe, between the age of 11 and 15 when they rescued her. I was with them for about 18 months. My Winston, we were not sure of his age. Somewhere around 11 or 12 years old, they guessed, somewhere between 10 and 12. And then he was also with me for 2 years following when I rescued him. Actually, he was, I joke about this, but he was dropped at my RV on the top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere. Just showed up one day. So aliens dropped him, or there's no explanation for how he got there. Angels, but we were unable to find his owners, and he ended up spending 2 years with us. Okay, so let's talk about Belle. Winston will come into this at some point. Belle spent 1.5 years with her papa before she crossed. And her crossing was one that many of you, maybe not many of you, I hope not, but it's possible. It's very possible. She was given a medication that resulted in a reaction that, and so she had to be assisted. She had to receive an assisted crossing. And I know what that means. And it can be so many different things, but I'm not going to like focus on what the actual medication was, but it was, if you look up online, there are so many things they're saying now that we shouldn't be. The routine preventative things like for fleas, ticks, all that, all the things that we give them, the things we put on their skin, that we give them pills, or there's any number of things, but they can cause reactions. And this particular one did cause a reaction, and it resulted in Belle's crossing to the other side. So when that happens, we feel incredibly guilty. We feel very, very guilty. And we'll come back to this towards the end when we talk about the message for everybody, once I get some of the things that Belle was saying coming through. We feel guilty because we cause them harm that caused their life to end here on earth. But more than anything, what I want you to know is you acted from the best of intentions. Your intention was good. And when our animals are ready to cross to the other side, it could have been anything. It could have been anything. I get a strong sense that Belle was actually ready. Her little body was getting very tired. There was something else going on with her. I don't know what that is. Now, the picture that I received of Belle was the most amazing picture. She has this. If I use it, you'll see it. She has this the hair hanging over her eye, and she's looking so saucy. She just looks so saucy and so happy and so cheerful, like happy-go-lucky is the best sense I got from her. But her little body was getting tired, and often this will happen. They don't mean to hurt. They don't mean for us to be hurt when it's time for them to cross. But I did get a sense that Belle was ready to cross, and this just happened to be the way that she used to transition. And she does not want you to feel hurt, and she does not want you to feel remorse or guilt. And all the animals that I ever connect with have that same message that guilt is human. Guilt is a very human thing, and we feel like we should have, could have, would have done something different, and that there's no need for us to dwell on that. There's no need for us to dwell on that. Okay, so let's talk about. Well, I have Winston's paw print here. I just love that little paw print. He was a King Charles Cavalier. That's his little paw print, and you guys know I wear a little bit of him by my heart all the time, because just like Belle. Belle was with her papa for about a year and a half, but it felt like a lifetime. And the same thing for Winston. Winston came to me at the age, as a senior dog, and was with me for 2 years, a little over 2 years. And I felt like it was a lifetime. And I know that he's still with me. I talk to him all the time. I miss holding his furry little face close to my chin, and hugging him. He was such a little snuffle up. I guess he loved to be cuddled and held. So I know what that feels like, to spend only a couple of years with an animal, but to feel like it was a lifetime. They are soulmates in the truest sense of the word. They're soulmates. So let me read for you some of the things that came through to me right away. So the way I do this, for anybody who is watching this the first time, I go into a quiet meditation. I quiet my mind. I open my heart. I let any of my own baggage, so anything that's going on with me, I just let it float away for the time being. I open a space that is just fully present for the animal that I want to connect with. And that's how they come through. Sometimes a whole bunch of them come through at once, but today Belle was so clear. The second I saw her picture, I knew immediately everything that it was like an immediate knowing of all the things she wanted to share, and I couldn't write them down fast enough. But so that's what I do. I go into a meditation and then I write it down. I'm starting to keep a beautiful little journal of all the pets. In fact, I'm going to write today's date on here, which is January 31st of 2023 that we connected with Belle. Okay, this is the message for Belle's daddy. She is the happiest little girl in the whole wide world. That's the first thing that came through. Her photo is just so beautiful. Hair hanging over her eyes, silly, carefree. She is happy with everyone. She loved everyone, is the sense that I got. There wasn't a soul she met that she didn't love. And I did get a sense, and I actually started to write this before I saw the picture, and something came through right away that said rough start. She had a rough start. It doesn't matter. Something about a past pet. And then I really sat down with her picture and started to receive information from her. But I think that makes sense to you. So for Belle's papa, somewhat of a rough start, but none of that mattered. This is where Winston started to come in for me. When I first brought Winston when Winston first came to my home, clearly all on his own terms in the middle of nowhere, the top of the Rocky Mountains. We have no idea how he got there. I sat down with him and did the same kind of thing in life. I sat down and closed my eyes. I did a meditation. I asked to connect heart to heart with him. And then I asked him where he came from. I wanted to know if he could tell me where he came from and what his past experience was. And this is directly related to Belle as well. And the immediate response that I got was, what was I talking about? That there was there was no, there was no before. There was no before. Has always been with me. He and I have always been together. And he didn't understand what I was talking about when I asked him about his life in the past. There was no life in the past. It was almost as if he had erased everything. So whatever he had been through, he just erased it, and he was with me now. And in the end, I suspect that he had been dumped, that Winston had been dumped because he had some serious health conditions, for which my veterinarian treated him at no charge. So I want Winston's people to know, if they should ever find a way to know, that if he was left in the woods because of his illness and thinking that maybe nature would take care of things, know that he was well cared for, know that he was loved. What does this have to do with Belle? Because I get the same sense. I got almost the same sense from her, that she was saying there was no past. That year and a half that you felt was like a lifetime with her, she knew was a lifetime. She feels that she has been yours for life, that it took her a long journey to get to you, but the year and a half that she had with you was like a lifetime, and that she's still with you. Guys, this is for all of you. They are always still with you. There is no before, there is no future, there is no past, no present. There's only the now. And in their now, when they leave their body, they don't feel a difference. They're still here right next to you, as if they were right here now. Their energy has simply shifted into a different form. I use this example all the time of water and steam and ice, and it's all H2O, but it just takes different forms. And it's the same thing with our beautiful animals. And yeah, it's the same for people too, guys. That she is right there hanging out with you still, and that's the word that just came through. She's right there hanging out with you right now. Okay, so what else did we get? Senior rescue was a lifetime to her as well. She was a lap sitter. Did I get a sense that she sat on your lap? She loved to cuddle. She loved to snuggle. She knows that your intentions were good. That all goes back to the medication. And then there was some other specific. Okay, I hate when this happens, but when it happens, it happens. So I just say the word that came through to me that she thought was hilarious was fart. And I don't know what that means. Did you call her a little fart knocker? Not quite sure, but anyhow, that's the word that came through. And she giggles at that. And she giggles because it makes me giggle, because it makes me uncomfortable to say that to say that on this video. But I also got a sense that at some point she got wet. She was shivering, very cold. Not sure what that was. Was that before she came to you? That's kind of what's coming through right now. Before she came to you, I have a sense of very cold, shivering, that she had gotten wet. Did she like to sit on your lap when you use the facilities? That's like, girl, you have to be talking about that kind of stuff. But yes, that's what I got. That when you go potty, she likes to be with you. Something else came through about a plant. Was there a plant that got dug up? A plant that she shouldn't have? A cactus, a succulent, something comes through about a plant that she wasn't supposed to get into, maybe. Also something about the 4th of July. Not quite sure what the 4th of July is. Some of these things come through to me as just like a concept. I just get all of a sudden, so I write down whatever comes through to me. If it doesn't make sense to me, hopefully it makes sense to you. And if it doesn't make sense to you immediately, sometimes it comes to you a day or two later. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of that. Such as when we did the reading for Beardy and the train. But anyhow, what else came through? A diamond. I drew this actually. Let's see if I can. So I like to draw. Not that I'm the best artist in the world, but like graphics start to come through to me. So something came through to me about a diamond and an emblem marathon. I don't know anything about Belle's papa, but don't know if you're a runner or what that, I mean, for all we know, this could be coming from Belle's past, but I'll show you this little picture. So it's this one right here. So it was like attached to, the image I got was that this is mirrored, so it's hard for me to see, that it was attached to like something that goes around your neck, and there was like an emblem there. And then, yeah, that's what came through. So I just wanted to show you that. So diamond, marathon, emblem. Was she flying on a plane at all? I got a sense of, and the words that came through were true north, as I got this sense of a plane and true north. And that, oh, this is the message that came through for everyone. This has come through for me before, and I get the sense that they want us to like believe this, like and not just suspend our disbelief. They want us to believe, 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 not believe for a minute, not hope that it's so. They want us to know that this is true. When Belle crossed, she was, they're never alone when they cross. They are never alone. There is always a beautiful, I'm going to use the word angel because I have no better word for it. There's always someone waiting to help them cross, more than someone. There are other animals. There is, I get a sense of some beautiful light being. But in this case, it was a person. It was specifically a person, someone who the second that she crossed, so their crossings are instantaneous. And sometimes they leave their little body before their spirit, their soul leaves their little body before their body can even completely stops. So I got a sense that she was immediately scooped up and held under someone's arm. I can see her being held under someone's arm with the most loving intent, as if she just ran from one space to the other, and this person scooped her up and held her under their arm in a protective way, in a loving way, in a helpful way. And they want us to know that their transition, no matter how hard their transition is on us, their transitions are not hard. They don't feel pain. They don't feel, in the beginning, I get a sense, especially from dogs. And we're going to have a whole video about cats because there is something very unique about cats. But for right now, we're going to focus on the dogs. Dogs, sometimes they feel confusion, not only confusion, but sometimes they feel that they shouldn't be leaving us, that they need to stay with us, that they are here, that their crossing they know will cause us pain, but don't, in the end, their transition itself is smooth. While it may take them a little longer and they may stay here on the physical plane a little longer for us, when it is their time to transition, it is that fast. And there's no pain, there's no confusion. There is someone waiting for them. There is someone there and other animals there to immediately welcome them to the other side is the only words that I have for now. And someday they'll give me words for what the other side is. But that brought something else to mind. Okay, so a purple flower. In Colorado, we have a flower called the columbine that's absolutely beautiful. That's the picture of the visual that Belle gave me. And then about the animals on the other side, there was specifically a past pet. There was another animal that she knew immediately, bigger, playful. I don't know if Belle's papa, if you had another pet that crossed, and I mean, I don't know. If you've had another pet that crossed, that's what I got the sense that animal, it was bigger than her, playful, a boy, I got the sense of, and more like a, I can't think of the kind of dog, but more like a shorter haired dog. I would have to, I don't even know the kind of dog it is. I'll see if I can figure out what that is. But I mean, I can picture the dog in my mind, but I can't describe well enough what it is. More like a Lady and the Tramp kind of dog. The Tramp, Lady and the Tramp, and the Tramp dog. That's the visual that I'm getting. That was there to greet her on the other side. Okay, so what is the message for all of us? Hopefully, Belle's papa, these make sense to you. For the rest of us, that's what they want us to know, that they are not ever alone. It's not we don't have to hold ourselves responsible for the way in which they cross. My Winston crossed on his own only a week after Lucy. So yeah, that was the thing. It still makes me very emotional to think about that. But Winston's crossing was without assistance, but Jack and Lucy both had assistance. So I know how that goes as well. They want us not to worry about the way in which they cross. They want us to let go of the guilt, the remorse, the fear, know that they're safe, know that they have someone there with them now, that they are still with us, and that we can connect with them at any time. And that beautiful person that was there for Belle, every single one of our animals has an angel. That's the best word I have. Every single one of our animals who crosses has someone who they're not alone. And when they are leaving their body, they're not alone. They have us on this side, they have someone on the other side. And it is meant to be beautiful and peaceful and free of guilt and remorse and second guessing yourself. All right, that's what I have for you guys today. I think we'll do the cat one next because cats are very, very, it's a whole different experience than dogs. All right, for now, excuse me. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And until the next video, let the animals light your way. Take care. Bye.